Hello YouTube, welcome to Ned's Garage. I haven't done an update in a while. I just been enjoying the car after the winter project, so today I'm going to show a new product that I just purchased. So I want to show you this part. I didn't film this part, just disassembling everything here, getting ready for the install. So maybe a hint here, but here is my previous setup here with the shifter. So it's a stock shifter. I do have Kinetic upgraded cables, but essentially what I did is I ran a heavier shift knob, and then I ran the gated plates, and I was pretty happy with this for a while, but I may have messed up something with the new shift cables, but it seemed to be when I installed those, I didn't get the end links adjusted right on the rod ends. It ends up being like these were kind of out of place. Like I tend to try to get into a gate hitting in the middle here, or if I adjusted it would not go all the way to the right. And again, it was just kind of, it felt better than stock, the new cables, but it wasn't quite where I wanted them to be. So with that being said, there are a couple of different options for aftermarket shifters. For right now, I think there's Kinetic, or Kinetic, I can never tell how to pronounce that. There's a Dolomiti shifter out of Italy. And there used to be a Alitech shifter that was really cool, but they don't make that anymore. And then I was surfing on Greg's Racing Parts, and I found that there's another option that I haven't seen a lot in the US or getting posted. I think these are pretty popular with like the S2 Elises, which we don't get in the US, or seems to be people that K-swap their Elise. Use this shifter a lot. So I already pre-opened this. I kind of couldn't help myself, so I kind of already took everything out, but it was very well packaged. You can see a lot of bubble wrap here. And I already forgot the name, but here is the shifter. But this is the HPE Billet shifter. This is how it comes from Greg's Racing Parts. So candy, some stickers, GRP stickers, and then a cool keychain. I purchased a couple things, haven't got this keychain before. So again, this was kind of all wrapped together, but I kind of took everything, but I haven't cut out anything yet. So we'll remove the box here and see what we got. Oop, another piece of candy. Let me put that right there. So I'm gonna get rid of the boxes and stuff. All right, so what do I like about this shifter? So if you guys do end up doing the gated plate, the question about what to do with the reverse, the stock shifter has a collar reverse lockout. So when you run the gated shifter, you end up holding that down, so it's kind of always in the lifted position. That way you can push over and go up there. It seems like all the Dolomiti and the Kinetic uses a cable lift lockout system. And what I really liked about this one, it uses first of all, the shift knob is built in. That's not a big deal. I already have a shift knob. But when you lift this up, it's like a little panel that is the reverse lockout. Also, there seems to be these rod ends came with them. I don't believe I'll need to use these since I have the upgraded shifter. I already have this type of rod end, but I think this is for the stock shifter if you need to adapt those too. And then I also like that it's just kind of a, I really like the Alitech shifter, but that's not being made anymore. And this seems to be like a billet aluminum machined out, very, very cool looking. This is the floor plate adapter, and then this ends up being the what do you call this? Like the handbrake holder, or the panel. I'll post a link so you guys can go read about this. So I kind of really like this look. I think it's pretty cool looking compared to the others, and again, I haven't seen anybody done it, so I just kind of wanted to try it myself. Reading reviews from S1 and K-Swap, I think people really like them. They feel great. The one thing I already noticed is I can't do it with one hand. Let me see if I can put my tripod down. So just the judging on this would be the cross gate spring. So there's a little spring in here that kind of centers it. So you can see I can move it pretty easy. With the new one, let me take this piece off. That cross gate spring is really stiff, and so I like these type of shifters that basically kind of self-center into the 2-3. I have a similar shifter with the very stiff returning spring in my Lancer Evolution, and I really like that. It's like you when you take off, you go into first, but then after that, you can just kind of push up and down, and it'll kind of center itself. So anyways, so I am going to make a cut, and I'm going to pre-assemble this just to do a side-by-side comparison. I think when you end up putting it in, you put them in piece by piece, so you don't really need to pre-assemble everything here, but I'm just going to do it just to get a good video here. Alright, so I got everything pre-assembled here. I obviously didn't put everything in there, but as you can see how this goes together. So I believe what we'll have to do is, since we're left-hand drive, we'll actually install this plate, and then we'll kind of put everything in and then kind of bolt everything this way through it. There is a base plate here that gets installed inside the car. I think they're going to use a couple of these, and some of these are threaded holes. So the threaded holes end up getting hardware that fixes this down to it. So installation should be pretty easy, and we reuse the existing factory handbrake, and then the micro switch as well. So make sure you take that out of the old one. So I'm gonna periodically kind of do little updates in here as I'm getting this installed. I'm not sure if I need to use Loctite, but I might as well just use some Loctite in here. And then I really like the design of this cable holder. It was quite a pain in the butt to take like the old cables out, especially since I have thicker cables. It was really hard to kind of push them through. This one, I think, since we'll get the driver side in there, it'll be easy to just put everything in here and then bolt it through. What I didn't show here is that there's actually two pieces here, so you actually fish the cable through and then bolt through and clamp it down to hold it down. I went ahead and took these off. I'm going to see whether the cable I have, the ends work. It is kind of this ball heim joint, or ball joint. So if I don't need to, I'll see which one feels better, and we'll go with that. But I'm gonna go ahead, and what I'll do is I'll at least pre-assemble the one side that's gonna go in. They do say leave everything kind of loose until you put it in, and then tighten everything down. All right, so what I did is I bolted this piece. It goes where the rear seatbelt bolts are. It's loose right now, so I haven't tightened these quite down yet. I got the plate installed in. I have the
kinetic reinforcement kit, so this one ends up not being used. I think I have a good use for this. I'm gonna fabricate some kind of a switch panel, or maybe do something with a drink holder. But this is in there pretty tight. Uses existing riv nut holes here, here, and here. So this gets bolted through right there. But before we do that, I'm going to get our cable situated. So you end up putting it in here, and then you sandwich it in, I think upside down like that. And then I realize that the instructions, when they call passenger and driver, they're really talking about right-hand drive. So if you end up doing this for a left-hand drive, keep that in mind. And you probably want to take the driver's seat out, not the passenger seat. So I didn't realize that. The instructions actually have pictures, so it's just me not paying attention. All right, so I'm gonna get the cables all locked into there, and I'm gonna leave everything loose right now, except like the stuff I can't get to later. So go on to the next step. All right, so this is another day, and I just decide to just show you the finished product. And right now I don't have the passenger side installed, so they get a better view. I think I'm gonna run this naked look like this and not install the console back. So you know, the install wasn't bad. I think if I had to do it again, I would just take both seats out. There's a little mix up when I read the instructions. They said take the passenger seat out, but I think that was British instructions, so passenger seats actually is our driver's seat. Anyways, I would I think either way I would have took both seats out, because that's kind of easy to do. The routing, I kind of replicated what they did, just reverse. In the pictures they have this coming down here, and they kind of push it off to the side, and then they go routed back, and it kind of goes under a little tunnel under here. So actually right here it looks pretty neat. It goes in that tunnel. So so yeah, how it feels pretty good. You know, there's a pretty strong center return spring on it, and it you know, feels very good, or a lot better than the factory. So you can definitely tell when it's in the middle, and then a positive shift up, shift down, and then again the left to right is really positive feeling. I think the cross gate, there's actually two adjustments here. You can use this hole or this hole, and I think if you use the top one, it'll be a shorter throw. But this is feels plenty good to me. And then the top one, there's no adjustment. There's a slot here, and this slot is for the reverse lockout. So here's kind of how the reverse lockout operates. So when you push it into neutral first, it kind of hits this little bar, and if you want to go into reverse, you lift it up and you go past it, and then go into reverse, and there's a nice click right there. So and so I think, you know, this all is very centered the way the knob is set up. I think sometimes some of the stock shifter can lean one way or the other, but seems to be very centered. And the distance here is pretty good, but I think I can actually either add length and get this more straight up or down, which wouldn't affect the performance. So I got some thread extenders that I'm gonna maybe play with, but this angle's not bad. But yeah, that's more straight up. So, but yeah, pretty happy with it. I'm gonna obviously go and put everything back together and go try it out. I do, without running the console, I do have to figure out what to do with the door lock and the flasher. Right now I'll just connect it, hang here. I know Kinetic makes a little panel that goes right there. That might be a good idea. Or I might try to rig something off of this. But for right now, I'm just going to run the buttons there and see if I like the naked look. But overall, everything seems very well made. Everything feels very tight. And I'll go drive it, but for now I can definitely recommend this. But I'm not going to show me putting back together, but thank you everybody for joining me on this video series. I think I got one more wrap up of the clamshell kit that I did finish up, and it is working. I just haven't did the last video to show the operations of it, but I'll do that later. All right, well, thank you, YouTube, and have a nice day.